What's good, boys? We are back live. We fixed the technical issues. Mr. Producer, I remember I used to take care of this technical stuff back in the day, running out the crib in the basement. So we took care of everything. Everything is top notch. For all the guys who were watching the stream earlier, we were talking about some of this porn addiction stuff, if it affects us men and our testosterone, and we got some porn stars sitting down with some people. So let's jump into this video. I've never seen this yet, but I've had some requests to review this. Hope you guys are enjoying your night and getting prepared for the holiday. I am too, and let's go.
Erectile dysfunction, which is destroying people's relationships.
Can you say a little bit more about physical change to the brain?
Yeah, so there's a study that shows that there is basically the reward centers are smaller, where you would think they'd be larger, but it's because of that desensitization in the reward center, and then that's in the midbrain. The reward pathways feed forward to the frontal lobe. Those pathways are impacted too, so people can't think.
Shall we bring the disagreeers?
Let's do it.
Please join us.
People can't think. Hey, look at Shorty. You see, guys, look at that.
I mean, I feel like
She's all like walking in the room like this. Oh yeah, girl, get it.
it's not our fault that y'all can't push the computer away. Like, we providing a service and doing a job. We not forcing anyone to watch porn. That's a decision that you make on your own. We don't force anybody to watch.
Do you think it's a net positive or a net negative?
I mean, I think it's a positive thing.
What's positive about it that you believe brings the service to the
because you have the option of being able to watch it or not watch it. You have that option yourself to do that. It makes you feel good.
You have the option to watch it or not. Okay, I got two things to say about that. Number one is porn is not designed for you to just watch it once. There are triggers. The directors behind the scenes know exactly, even the chicks, they know exactly how to hook you, exactly what you like, exactly how to trigger your nut, man. This stuff can get scientific because there is a lot of money in this viewership, guys. So there's no, hey, you want to watch it or not. They're going to make you watch it. Best believe that. They're going to make you watch it again and again and again. All right, so don't believe this nonsense.
Good. Like, it makes you release, it makes you feel all kinds of things, arousement in sexuality. It helps you be more confident about your body. For me, porn has been very positive to me, especially being a plus size boy in the gay porn industry. I deal with people always coming at me in the industry because of my size. And in gay porn, it's not really acceptable to be a plus size boy. So for me, porn has helped me be more confident in my body and stuff like that. And I know people who watch my porn, who are like me, come to me all the time and said, watching your porn has made me more confident.
It taught me sexual experiences. I had, going into 5th grade, they taught you sex. A boy and a girl has sex, but I didn't know what that looked like, So, sure, it could be bad. It could teach you crazy things or whatever, But for me personally, it taught me a lot of things. Like, I'm not gonna go ask my mom, how do you give a blowjob? Or like my friends at a young age when I have a boyfriend, like that's something that like it's honestly a research point in some aspects.
She's literally telling you guys. She's been at it since she was in 5th grade. She's been at it since she's in 5th grade. She's literally telling you guys that. Okay?
For some people.
Honestly, I would characterize that as a net negative because that is, science now shows that that's how porn is how most kids are learning about sex, and it's hypersexualized. And we know there's an increase in violence. And so now we have young people, punching, choking, anal sex is up, and we have young people now learning that this is healthy.
Sex is violent.
Well, it can be, but the violent.
Yeah, I don't know about. Hey, listen, I know there's some scenes in there that can get violent, but yeah, she is tossing around some random stuff.
Piece of porn isn't just anal sex, but it covers kind of this, again, continuum overarching. But now with kids having their phones in their pocket, they don't have the opportunity to learn from healthier ways. I think that is the unique perspective that I've had because I wasn't addicted to porn, yet I was very close to someone that was. So having an outside view plus having the education to understand it, I work with a lot of people. They don't have the awareness until they do. But usually that's because they have significant mental and physical health issues.
I don't believe that like everyone who watches a porn video from their first time watching it is going to now have a problem. I think that there
Yeah.
are plenty of people who can make that distinction.
Most people do if they continue to watch porn. So, I call it the seeds of addiction, but of course, seeds have to be watered. If you don't water seeds, they don't grow. But for people who develop a habit, and there's scientific studies that show consuming porn one time a month is still leads to compulsive behavior.
So who's not addicted to porn?
People who don't watch it.
That's it. Like you
And
can't
most
healthily
people,
take this
so
in
when
at
it
all.
comes to brains, it's the same with alcohol. Most people who consume alcohol regularly do have a dependency on
But
it.
there's no possible have a beer, put it, and then that was
For some people, but there's tolerance building, escalation over time, and that goes back to your point, Logan, that
Guys, you think she ever tuned into that stuff right here on the left? You think you'd ever find her in the scene? There's a lot of those chicks like that out there, man.
people don't know until they know.
For the right amount of money, huh? What'd you do it, girl? Imagine that scene, right? Doctor, behavioral scientist. Trust me, the right producer come along with that check. I don't know. She seemed like she'd do it, which I think.
No, but most people are not aware until basically there's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I
Yeah.
personally don't think most people have an addiction to it. I think that what is being considered an addiction on this side of the spectrum is not considered an addiction on this side. Just
There's
because we watch,
definition to it.
yeah, just because we watch something maybe once a month or whatever doesn't necessarily. To me, I'm more addicted to my phone, to food, to everything else besides that. Like that's the least addictive thing.
Well, there's
in my life.
qualifiers too.
I mean, it all depends where you're coming from at this too, because you can be someone who has no life, right? Your wife left you, your kids don't like you, your family's gone, you have no friends, and you could be watching this stuff to escape, okay? You're using it as a drug, using it as something to escape, something to make you happy, okay? And it becomes a bottomless pit. You know, it becomes you get into a state where you are seeking excitement, you are seeking happiness, and that could be a bit dangerous, just like alcohol, you know.
To the definition of addiction, and then I tell people just try to stop watching. You don't even have to like tick the 6 boxes, because most people who consume porn, you know, they might be able to go a little while, but they will have withdrawal symptoms. They'll have an increase in anxiety, anger, irritability, you know, up and down. It's about like there's dopamine in the system, then there's a dopamine deficit. So
So if I don't watch porn once a month, I'm going to be happier.
yeah, probably.
I totally
That's the thing,
You know
you
what,
don't know until you see the other side.
People say that to me all
I've
the
been
time.
on every side of things. I
They
had a
don't
purity
believe it
ring
until
growing
they
up.
And that's what I mean by this. Like, if she's watching it and she has something where her lifestyle, like everything, you know, is connected, everything's going well in her life, you know, she can easily go without it, you know. She has something else that makes her happy. But like I said, if you're a guy who is not getting any dates, who's not getting any female attention, you have no friends, you have nothing in your life that you can be happy about, and you use porn for an escape, it can fuck your head up, bro. Seriously. Now, her lifestyle can be full of fun, adventure, spending a lot of money, traveling, whatever, anything under the sun that makes her happy can be fulfilled. And she watches it, hey, you know, my standpoint is essentially anything under moderation is fine. You know, you can be a guy who eat too many strawberries, and I'm sure it can fuck you up, man. Like, imagine the world's record of eating the most strawberries. Like, you know, I'm sure there's some kind of poison or something you can get from that. So the thing with, you know, porn and everything is like, it's designed to spike your dopamine really high. Like, these scenes aren't boring. These scenes dig deep into your psychology and what you believe, your fantasies. It's the most shocking, okay? That's what it's going after. And you just pretty much fry your brain just like a drug. The guys who's smoking the weed, who's getting drunk, and they're just chasing that high over and over. That's when it gets damaging. Sure, you can watch some chickens. Sure, you can watch some, you know what I mean? Shorty throwing it back. You see some positions. You see what chicks like. You understand? Because that is a side of the internet where it'll teach you some game. You guys can reach at a high level once you got it under control. You guys can pick up on these different things because this stuff is real. All these scenes are real. That's where they get them from. The producers and everything, it's real things. Guys do go around picking up girls and banging them in the van. It happens. Like, you can do that same day. I've had guys do it same day in Miami, literally just recruiting chicks, and within 30 minutes you're going to town on her in a van or in the back seat somewhere. You know, the stuff is real. What's good, Flash Fire? We're gonna get back into this video.
Experience it. Because your brain will start working in a more optimal mode, and you'll be like, I didn't even know I could
What's
be
more
this.
optimal now than somebody who has 2 degrees, successful for themselves, can pay off everything that they want? How is that not in itself?
Well, it's about, you know, back to your focus, and, you know, I don't know what you have going on, but it's about that brain map, if it's green, the way, it's about your state. And so your state changes. So when people work with me, they'll say, I didn't even know I could be calmer, I didn't know I could be more focused, I didn't know I could have less anxiety, I don't feel depressed. My sexual arousal for my partner is through the roof in a way that it never was before. So
No, and I see, like, I think it isn't a one-size-fits-all type of thing. I think that there are plenty of people, like, it's going to vary person to person. I think that there are a lot of people, because even if we take away pornography, if we look at something like something like the keto diet, like, there's plenty of people who, okay, like, you can find a lot of evidence backing, okay, you'll lose weight on this, you'll sleep better, this, and that. And then there's other people who are like, it didn't work for me, I had headaches, I had this, and both can be true. So is that not the same thing? Why is there no possible way to have a healthy relationship with pornography, with masturbation?
it goes
Hey,
back
let's see
to
what
the dopamine dependency of the super normal.
guys, look at this guy right here. Look at him. Of course he's into porn. Of course he's into, you know, it's like you can see this from afar. You know, it's right in your face. Of course. This stuff, you know, and he has a point. He has a point. After a certain point, it can get damaging. But once again, if you're a guy who can't control yourself, you have no woman, you can't get any dates from Tinder, you suck at cold approach, you're terrible in the bedroom, it will fuck you up, man. Seriously, I dated girls. One of my exes, one of my first girlfriends, she told me she dated a guy, her boyfriend, for like 6 years. The last like 3 years of their relationship, they did not have any intercourse, no intimacy. He would literally rather watch porn than sleep with her. And this chick was juicy. She was juicy. I was in that thing every day. Every day. You hear me? So, but it can get to that point where you literally would rather watch than engage.
Stimulus.
But there's so much that gives you dopamine. Like, people get that from work. They get an unhealthy relationship with
They
the
get
person.
dopamine
Getting
from
more
work.
hours.
You can be addicted to work, but the dopamine from work is significantly lower. It's not a super normal stimulus. It's a normal stimulus. So like in real life, probably the highest normal stimulus is like skydiving. You know, it's like your system is completely jacked up, you're overstimulated. That is probably in real life the highest level stimulus you could get.
But how can we get these people that are really compulsive and have addictions? How can we get these people help?
My answer would obviously be organized religion, specifically Catholicism. Now, that's obviously just me, but I think it's...
Come on, bro. Say it with your chest. Yeah. The Lord Jesus. Say it with your chest, man. Let them know. Stop walking on eggshells around these chicks. This is the problem, man. This is literally it. This is one of the biggest problems. You guys are afraid to tell chicks what to fucking do, how to fucking think. Oh, I don't. You're like a worm. Chicks don't respect you. They won't sleep with you. And to be honest, it's one of the biggest reasons why they're on the run with their head chopped off. Because there's not enough men. And I'm glad. Part of me is kind of glad there's not enough men like this. Because it leaves more chicks for me. All right? And it sets the dating market apart. If you guys can't have any sense of groundedness, any sense of control to your woman, she's gonna be left out there for the world. Okay? Oh, it's fine. Oh, it's this. Oh, it doesn't matter. Then the kids are growing up like a mess. You guys need more strength. Need it. Religion isn't a band-aid. I'm gonna put you on. Let's see if I can put you on. Religion isn't a band-aid for pornography. Sometimes religion is the reason why people get into porn, because they didn't have an outlet for sexual energy. So, flash fire, I got something to say about that. So, you can have many outlets on your sexual energy. So, like, before the image of porn, right? Because there's video content. There was magazines, and before magazines, listen, before we could even take pictures, okay, the camera was invented out in New York. And for you to capture a picture, sometimes you literally had to stand there in one spot for like 3 days before you had an image. And then when you got that image, you had to go in the dark room and put it in the water and all. Processing of photos and images itself took almost 100 years, probably just over 100 years. Before then, there was no idea of pornography. Okay, you either had to date a chick or use your imagination, which was far more healthy. Okay, and it could be the reason why we got to this point. But you know, I know you mentioned religion, it not being a band-aid. It certainly can. It certainly can. Bro, I don't know if you're a believer in Christ, but you should be. The Lord Jesus Christ, man. You trust in your Lord, your Savior, your life will change, man. Your life will change. Listen, I'm up here on this, I'm on a 22nd floor. Maybe I can show y'all this view a little bit later. But literally, you guys will get to a point where there will be moments in your life, it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing, you look over into the distance, you're gonna be reminded of Jesus. All right, and it's everywhere. And I mean, that's another topic. I won't go too much into that. I'm just gonna finish the video.
Clear that we've departed from a unifying ethic that brings everybody together. And then there's people on the fringes that basically just think that, well, pleasure is the best thing possible, or, you know, power is the best thing possible, and we've lost the thing that puts everybody at the center, that brings everybody together.
Are you saying everyone should be religious?
In utopia? Sure, yeah.
Okay.
But look at these guys. Oh yeah, talk it.
So that's your utopia.
Everyone should be religious. Listen, guys, everyone is religious. Everyone is religious. We just choose to follow something else. You could either follow Jesus, you could follow some guy on the internet that you never met. You know, you can follow, you know, someone who's promising you anything, right? Religion is nothing more than a set of beliefs on how you choose how to live your life. All right? Simple. So everything is a religion. Some people just choose to follow other people. Some people, the atheists, you guys choose to follow the scientists, follow a Big Bang that you guys can't explain where it came from. All right, guys. So everything is a religion. But it's interesting. I wanted to point out something I see here on the set, but I'm just gonna like finish out the video.
Mine is not.
Yeah, no.
Well, I would, to build on that, I would
for me.
believe that everyone should have like some sort of core values to not serve other humans, but just to bring positivity to the world. And that's why I, stepped forward, because I didn't believe that, being a porn star, and I wanted to be one at one point. Like I actually, like got.
Yeah, I wanted to be one at one point. Yo, guys, listen. I'm out here near Vegas. You understand? Oh, you see you left some comments. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. I'm out here near Vegas, man. I'm telling y'all, it got lit to the point where I'm sitting up here with porn stars. You understand? I'm just a split decision away of shooting the film. You understand? It's lit. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of chicks who are down for this stuff. It's so much going on, and it's not that hard. Once you get to the top level, like once you are able to know the game for what it is, see it from afar, you can realistically get anything you want from these chicks. And it gets to a point where it's pretty scary. There's some guys, and this is why you have porn, or at least like the dark side of this stuff, because some guys turn evil, or they, and I don't necessarily want to say porn as a whole is evil or bad. I'm going to share with you guys my standpoint. But hey, you can, once you at a high level, man, you can make some moves. Let me just say that. You can make some moves in this industry, and it's not that difficult. You can be a guy hitting up these parties, hitting up these events where you're literally pounding like 6-7 chicks in a row. You know what I mean? Bang, 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 bang. This is TLD over here. You understand? Let's see. I'm socially Christian. I'm quite young. I've been raised Christian, but I will not call myself a devout believer. I do believe in the concept of God, but I don't have that faith. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. But understand that all the most powerful and like literally the most powerful people in the world, they are religious. If you study them, if you study these organizations, how even the United States of America was built and what it's built on, you travel more, you're gonna see everyone. Like literally, these people are very religious. And if they're at a point where they could have anything and everything in the world, and they still choose to be religious, right? They still choose to follow God, right? Or at least go against God directly. That has to mean something, guys. I'm gonna play the video out.
That deep in the game, and I was like, wow, like,
You still can.
I'm all good, man.
He wants you to be Catholic. He wants you to be a porn star.
We found the middle ground.
Right.
Something I don't like is when a religious person tries to tell me what I need to do with my life.
Yeah, no,
That's my
I agree.
problem.
I agree. I think people push other people away from the church or just like whatever religion, right? I feel like that's just a relationship that you need to have. But one of the greatest things that you can do is pray or just manifest, right? So that's such a great thing. It's one of God's gifts to us, right? And so why don't you tell me like 3 core values you have for being a porn star?
Core values, I want to make money.
There
I want
you
to
go.
feel good about
there
what I'm
it is,
doing.
right there. I said it in the beginning of my last live. It's for the love of the money. That is the #1 motivator. Literally, if they were not getting paid, it's a good chance they would not be doing this, guys. They won't be doing it. Will not.
and I want to make other people feel good as well. That's just off the top of my head.
Making people feel good in like a pleasurable sense of, masturbation.
Yeah, sure. If that's one of the ways, then sure, why not?
I can't necessarily think of a lot of ways that are probably gonna be a good argument as far as why it's necessarily a positive thing. But I just don't view it as something that's negative in the right person's hand, I guess. Porn itself as a form of entertainment, I think the fact that it is just something that is out there that if you choose to watch it, you can because you have the freedom to, is a positive thing.
I just had a question for you.
Yeah.
You said earlier that you can't necessarily think of any reasons right now as to why porn would be beneficial to society.
Yeah, but I also,
can.
yes, but
Does that concern you at all?
no, because I don't think it needs to be. I don't necessarily think video games, I can't think of a lot of ways that video games are positive other than it just being fun, mindless entertainment.
Right.
I think there's a place in a functioning society for mindless entertainment to just be okay in moderation. And I don't think it's selfish either to want pure entertainment sometimes.
All right, this has been really interesting, and I think we have more topics to get to. So why don't we get to the next topic?
Sounds good.
Masturbation has many health benefits.
Okay, I think we're experiencing some slight issues here in the connection. Yeah. Just a second, guys. Just wanna make sure everything's running smooth. Yeah, so thanks for bringing that up. My Wi-Fi is pretty good. We're nearly close to 200 megs per second. I think it has something to do with the bit rate. So I'm just gonna play with this a little bit more. Yeah, I had no idea this stuff goes into, all these things go into damn. Alright, I'm going to I'm playing with the bit rate. I should be good now. I'm gonna play it now. Yeah, I should be good now. I'm gonna play it again.
Agreeers, please step forward.
Let's see here.
Well, you know what? Since you're hesitant, I want to start with you.
I just want to say something like, okay, I don't even think about like porn or masturbation anymore, but sometimes when you do get that idea, you know what I mean, and you ain't got no person to talk to, all of a sudden you start going crazy, like, what the fuck? Ah, shit, I'm horny, you know what I mean? Like the blue balls be kicking in, you know what I mean, right? But the thing with me is, I refuse to like still masturbate, even though it's hurting. So it gets to the point like sometimes I go crazy, like, so I gotta go meet somebody, like, oh shit, you know what I mean, right? So, but when I let that out, all of a sudden I come back to my normal sense. So I will say it helps that I ain't got to deal with the pain of pelvic cramps and blue balls. I'll give you that much. And if I remember right, ain't you supposed to nut to avoid like prostate cancer or something? Ain't you supposed to?
We're
not
not the scientists.
I don't know.
Oh my wow. I mean, I feel like there's nothing wrong with masturbation. I feel like masturbation is very healthy, mentally and everything. It's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with busting 10 nuts of the day.
once again, once again, guys, this is something that, great questions to ask. And my take, once again, is going to be in moderation. In moderation. As long as you guys are doing this stuff in moderation, you're going to be good. Anything after that, like one of my mentors was telling me, once a week, because masturbation is different from watching porn, and you can also mix those two together. But yeah, those are two different things, and in moderation you're fine. Once a week, that's what I would recommend you guys. And he did have a point. Prostate cancer, playing around. There was a time I was going full retention mode, and I think I ended up getting some kind of infection after like 2 weeks or something. And I went to see my doctor, and she's like, "You're not masturbating? Oh my God, you're not having any." So it was kind of like a mix of like blue balls with, because I was seeing my ex, she was like smoking hot. She was coming over, and when I was laying up with her, she's like, "Oh my God, why you're not coming at me?" She literally was like, why aren't you like finishing at me? So that was a huge thing. I was just letting her know that I'm just retaining. But I end up, I think I got sick sometime after that, because what the ejaculation does, and it's all different. Porn, masturbation, and ejaculation, those are 3 different things. They're all different in one. Because masturbation is, you without any penetration, like you without any sex. But ejaculation, you can be involved in sex. And porn, you're not involved in sex, but it gives you a hint of sex. Without that, so you got the intercourse, but you're not releasing. That can, get a lot of sperm and everything seeming to the edge, but it's not being released. So what it does is it actually cleans out your urethra, because there's a buildup on bacteria and everything. So you guys have to be careful if you're gonna be like me, where you're banging chicks and you're not releasing. It can cause, there's a chance it can cause an infection because you're not fully releasing, cleaning out, they say, your urethra. Okay, guys, I'm gonna play the video now.
And doing all the other things and stuff like that is good for your health and mentally, and it relaxes your body. So I feel like masturbation is nothing wrong with that. Even chronic masturbators. So yeah.
Quick question. I want to overtime. Yeah. Can you bust 10 nuts in a day?
I could bust multiple.
Oh yeah,
but
he's a porn star.
Well, I know y'all got super
We can all bust 10 nuts in a day.
Man, I got like 3 tops and I'm out of it, man. Go ahead, though, man. 10 is crazy, but go ahead.
You could say
It's funny, she looks just like my
the
ex.
opposing side could say
Not just like her,
that
but
maybe
she looks like my ex. Like, you maybe bring her hair down like right there and take off all this dumbass like stripper clothes. She looks like my ex. She had like the same fucking lips and shit. I was throwing her down like 3 or 4 times a day, man. And she still wanted more. These chicks can go far more than a fucking guy, because of course you're just laying there, girl. You're not doing anything, you're just laying there. And you don't have anything that you're bruising. I was tearing her shit up, but she was sore. It was some days she would, it was just like, I knew I had to do that to tell this chick to leave me the fuck alone, because when you live with a chick, oh man, like she wants to go. She wants to go, and keep going.
it's desensitizing you to real life sex, but for me personally, it's only given me more ideas and been an inspiration for, crazier times. So I think as long as you're doing it in a healthy amount, whatever that is to you, should be okay.
I mean, as long as you could go to work, that's the only thing that matters. As long as you could go to work,
What if
that's
it is
good
your
pay.
Yeah,
It's two birds, one stone.
Yeah, I would say like the average person, like the non-compulsive masturbator. For one, I don't think it's anyone's business what you do, and then two, I also think like if you don't have a problem with it or you don't feel like you have a problem with it, it's not affecting your day-to-day life. I think it's completely natural. I think humans have been doing it.
It's so funny because he's literally a, oh my goodness, he's like a woman in a man's body. Like, this is something that I've been noticing in you guys, and I want to break this clear. Chicks will not fuck, like, they will sleep with you. They will sometimes let you hit, but it doesn't mean she's gonna choose you. She's gonna choose to be with you and respect you. If you behave like a woman, if your mindset is like a female, this unaccountability, oh, it doesn't matter, it's whatever people think, and oh, it is what it is, and it's your world, it's nothing to do with me, or it's my world. This unaccountability, selfish stuff is how women think. Men care about things, right? They actually care about other people. Men are right now dying in Ukraine because of other people. The thought of other people in the country, in the whole, okay, their kids, they're dying for other people, guys. Women don't do that, okay? Women don't do that. So you hear a guy talk this kind of language where, oh, well, it doesn't have anything, it's my world, you do what it, no. Men take control. This is why men have fought and conquered countries, because they cared about what people were doing and the effects of everything and everyone. So if you're a guy and if you're living with a chick, you want to choose to be a stepdad or you want to have a family, you have to protect your family and what comes into your home and what comes in spoken at the dinner table. That is a man's job, to protect the perimeter and limit what comes in and out. All right?
Forever.
I've always had a really healthy relationship to masturbation. So obviously I'm doing it more now, but like before I was a porn star, I would maybe do it like not even once a week. So when I'd feel that, like, I guess urge or the horniness, I'd just go do it, and then if it's in the morning, I feel more energized somehow. And then if it's at night before I go to bed, I'm just like out like a light. I don't have to like take melatonin. And then another part of it for me has been kind of spiritual, because if you know about like the chakras, the sacral chakra is all about your sexuality and your creativity and your emotions. So using that kind of as like a manifestation technique. I was gonna say masturbation. But I've learned that like a woman.
Literally, look at all these. He's a faggot. He's gay. She's a woman. She's a woman. He thinks like a woman. That whole side is nothing but females. If they're the ones getting railed, taking and getting effed, of course they don't matter. It doesn't care. But when you are a man and you have to deliver results that are dependent purely on your energy and the amount of testosterone in your blood, yes, it does affect you. You have to watch and make sure you're doing everything the correct way and you're paying attention to your health, because when she's horny, there has to be a man with energy who can get up to F her on the scene, okay? Someone who can control himself emotionally, financially, sexually. He has to be there in all areas, because she's not going to lay up with him. So of course, this is, in a way, I'm sure it doesn't affect women as much as men, because we have to get something up. You know, a woman, it doesn't, like, you can technically use like lube and stuff if she's not even like turned, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't want to say too much, it's YouTube, but it's different. You understand? Like, chicks, I won't say too much because I'm at a high level, and the things I may say on this stuff may,
And harnessing her sexual energy and like using that is really powerful, and it just makes me feel like so creative, and I have so many ideas, and I feel so sexy.
But as porn stars, we want y'all to bust y'all nuts and stuff because that's how we get paid.
Fascinating. Let's bring in the disagreeers.
I mean, that's not
I'm learning so much. I'm learning so much from
Tell me
you.
you're not a porn star.
Man, highlight of my day. All right, disagreeers. Thoughts?
What do you believe that you manifest when you masturbate? Like, what do you think? Do you think nothing, or like?
I think
it's
my life.
subconscious?
You can manifest money, you can manifest experiences. Just that, like, the creative energy within your sacral chakra. And if you don't know anything about spirituality, you're probably going to look at me like I'm crazy. And it's completely separate, not completely separate from science. Like, there are parts of manifestation that have to do with, like, scientific basis.
Yeah, well, I love the idea of chakras, and chakras are actually energy centers in your body that are aligned with where there's more nerve energy. But when you overstimulate a chakra, then they're no longer balanced, and that is an issue with overstimulating the sacral chakra, because then it takes away from all the other.
Yeah, so I mean, this debate is pretty straightforward. They're basically, you got the left side telling you essentially no fap, and you know, I don't think they're necessarily saying don't watch it at all. They're mainly on the fact of the overstimulation, the overusage, the addiction side of it. And the chicks on the right, all the girls on the right, they're saying it's fine. You can have as much as you want. You can watch, and there's no effect. All right. So, I mean, in moderation, essentially. That's all they're arguing. In moderation is fine.
Others.
Okay.
And, you know, going back to the idea of hypersexuality, then it accidentally, inadvertently puts you in a hypersexual place where, you know, then it feels empowering to you, but it might not necessarily be balanced.
So, I'm going to touch on this really quick. Essentially, over-sexualizing, being obsessed with, you know, intercourse, and there's actually a saying in the word. It's sexual immortality. I think that's the exact term of it. But when you have no care, or you don't believe there's any consequences of your sexuality, and you can do whatever you want to your body and sleep with whoever you want, you pretty much lose your soul. It's the road, it's the pathway to destruction. Guys, there are women that you should turn down, even when they're down. You should be able to look at a chick and say, I'm good. She should get on her knees and say, please, please, please. You say, baby, I'm good. Have a good night. I'm heading out. She should be grabbing on you, trying to pull down your zipper, put on your clothes. You're like, yo, chill. Like, stop it. No. That's how you guys need to be, like, saying no to this stuff. To particular chicks, I mean, because you got to think about it. If a chick slept with all these different kind of men in all these different kind of situations, unprotected, she's bopped her head, and then she lays up with you, kisses you, guys, that energy, that intercourse right there is an effect on your body, on your soul, on your emotional state. You know, these guys on the right, these females on the right, they don't think there's no consequences of being overly sexual, when in fact there is. There's a tremendous heavy amount. Okay, there's no reason why even some guys at a high level, it's no mistake why they can't fall in love. They can't keep a woman around long enough because they've lost their heart. They lost their soul. They became too attached to the pleasure. And then when it comes to pleasure, just more. Like that guy on that Netflix show where he was so addicted to the pleasure that he needed something, like something so new, that he had to just start feeling the pain, and then he started connecting these devices to patients and doing all kind of crazy stuff because his dopamine was fried. It was gone. I'm gonna get back.
Okay, but from my perspective, I'm not like doing it every, like, it's like when I feel like that like energy starting to circulate in my body, like I'm gonna do something with it. I'm not like every day being like, I need to like hypersexualize myself. I need to do this. Like, I just feel like I have a very balanced relationship with my job and then like my own personal masturbation. So it's like hasn't like unbalanced my life. Like, I
Do you feel like your job has taken away from sexuality with another person?
no.
And guys, it's also different, once again, from a woman to a man when it comes to porn and masturbation, because, you know, our semen is like, it gives life. There's literally like millions of sperm in there. And it's no mistake why our erection goes down afterwards, because we actually release much more energy and calories than anything in the world. That is powerful. Chicks, man, they're lucky if they get off. All right, so imagine, like, of course she's gonna not feel much, you know. She doesn't even go, she doesn't even get off. A man, you get up, like you climax and you come down, because your body literally is like, no more. We just released everything we had in our body, like no more. There's no mistake why as men, our body is designed to release that kind of energy.
I've dated not plenty of men, like, while I've been a porn star, but the times that I have, like, I've really...
Of course! Who wants to date you?
enjoyed the experiences with them.
Actually, I found that through shooting porn, it's enhanced my personal relationship with a significant other. But I come home to my person, you know, and so that's my person. So when you have sex with them, it's emotional, it's sensual, it's you love them. But when you're having sex on set, it's, you know, it's a job, you're acting, you're, you know, whatever. So personally for me, it's made the two separate, but I do know men who have a hard time in their sex life who do shoot porn, but because they're using their dick so much.
And I love that distinction, because what you're talking about is the artificiality of, you know, your job at performance.
Yeah.
And then you being able to experience that sensual experience with a partner. From my perspective, it's about the consumer that might not have that distinction, because when the dopamine's all linked to consuming pornography.
Guys, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you guys? Why are you guys dating chicks that are going off the next day and fucking somebody else? What the hell is wrong with you guys? Are you guys that desperate and weird? Oh, because she let me sleep around too. She lets me hook up with other girls. This is weird. I've never, not once. That is not a masculine characteristic, man. You as a man, you are overly protective and territorial, and it's in our nature to make sure our woman is not sleeping around for the paternity certainty. What the hell is, you guys are weird.
Then they're not able to, you know, have that kind of that dichotomy that you're able to have.
I do think that there is a link between the morality and the health. So, I mean, I just don't, I think it's too simplistic to say that masturbation or masturbation to pornography specifically, sure, you get oxytocin, you get dopamine, you get serotonin. Okay, there's a ton of stuff that gives you those three chemicals, perhaps in higher doses, that are terrible for you. Things that anyone with sense would say, we probably shouldn't be doing that. So I think that just, you know, having one facet of, all right, this is healthy because we get feel-good chemicals.
But I'm curious, as far, because the prompt being, what, it was just objectively, masturbation is healthy, that was the
Yes.
prompt? So what, not, like taking porn out of it, what makes masturbation unhealthy in your opinion?
Yeah, Logan, I love what you said, actually, is that, you know, masturbation in and of itself, you know, I don't know that it has health benefits, and that prostate cancer thing is the world's oldest excuse for people who have compulsive masturbation.
But is it true?
It don't.
Like, no, actually, I've looked into the research, and people who compulsively masturbate have less healthy prostates as they age. So the big distinction is compulsive or not compulsive. But when pornography is in the mix, masturbation becomes compulsive because it's linked to all that dopamine again.
Like, this is the way I see it, right? So you have a spiritual cup, you have a mental cup, and you have a physical cup. And I feel like it drained, or me masturbating would drain one of those. I couldn't distinct which one it would be, but I just realized like it would spill out the water in each of those cups into different areas of my life, and that would lead to negative things. So I guess like a question I would have for you is like, do you think that your industry serves people in a healthy way? Someone like you?
Yeah, I mean, no, and I feel that, and I think it's a person-to-person basis. I don't think my industry necessarily serves in any specific way. I don't think it's necessarily. It's a video. At the end of like we made a video, and then how you consume that product is however you got to deal with that.
And that's where the compulsive masturbation piece comes in, right? It does desensitize the brain, the dopamine receptors, and going back to that connection piece, it connects a person to themselves, right? Like to a screen in their hand.
Porn is inherently anti-feminist. Agreeers, please step forward.
Well, so, I mean, I'm assuming that we're using the definition that feminism is for equal rights for men and women. I think that it sort of has to be anti-feminist in a way, because if we're talking about feminism in the context of women as fully fleshed human beings that have inherent value, I think it does the exact opposite of that. I think that it diminishes, I mean, more specifically women, but I think everyone who's taking part in the pornography is diminished to nothing more than a sexual object, than essentially a warm body to masturbate with. Wow, the great success of feminism is that now I can sell my body to the highest bidder online.
Let's bring everybody else in. We can have a discussion of it.
Wow, that was a great point. He says their body has been diminished to sexual object, and they can now go to the highest bidder online. Wow, that was a great point.
About this, and I look forward to hearing what y'all think of as feminist in this context.
I would love to start.
Oh, go for it. Speak up. You don't have to wait to be called on.
Guys, I will.
So, as a woman, speaking about feminism, we're bringing up the definition of feminism and saying it was having equal rights. If anything, women have more rights than men in the porn industry, especially on like large sets. I get a person to follow me around all day, make sure I'm comfortable. I also, everything's always about the woman. I get paid twice as much as the man on the set. Yeah, so that's my personal opinion on it. I think if anything, it lifts women up and gives them a platform to have confidence. And
Yeah, women dominate that whole entire industry. They make millions, more than the guys do. But the gay performers, they make money too. So, but women dominate the whole entire porn industry and make a killing.
You're assuming that me doing porn is only like having society view me as a sexual object, when in reality, I have a whole life outside of porn. Like, yes, it's a big part of my life, but I also I make YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
I paint. I read. I do all of these different things. I go to the beach. I'm a whole person, but just the general concept of just seeing women as sexual objects just because they're on camera having sex, I think that's a big issue.
You obviously are a full, complete person outside of what you do in front of the camera for pornography. I obviously would agree with that across the board. So you're just a means to an end for these men who are desperate at home and want to get off. And they think that you're not a real, full human being. They just think that you're a body that's doing something attractive. And
not with OnlyFans these
You're
days.
assuming that everyone's having the same experience when they're masturbating to porn. So for me, not only with the Pornhub and all the studios that I've shot for, all these men that are coming to me, I feel like I do pretty well with attracting people that are just so loving. They make me feel so seen. And
Guys, don't search her up. Don't search this chick up in the green. I know you will, man. Don't do it, man. Man, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We gotta get going. We got a flight early tomorrow. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. If you got any other questions, hit the comment below. I will get to those. We've been running for a good hour strong. Yeah, and next time we're gonna have much better production on event. And once again, if you haven't yet checked out the website, be sure to check out the website. You can start getting dates literally right after viewing the information in the course, guys. Thanks for watching, KT, topleveldating.com. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Peace.